Well, good afternoon everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Lee, your virtual airline pilot, back with you again for the first of this week's reviews. Although I have posted 3 review videos up on my website, where we'll be doing MARSA Alam, Warsaw Chopin by Dizreki Designs and Samui in Thailand, I also hope to get a 4th one in, where we'll be looking at Reading Regional Airport from Spinoza. That's in the United States, so we try and get those 4 done this week. But for the moment, where are we? We're in Egypt. We're close to the Red Sea. This is MARSA Alam International Airport, and this is the version by the Flightsim Development Group, or better known as FSDG. This is version 1, the release version for the PC version of Flightsim 2020. The download comes in at 209 megs and it installs at 734 megs, so it's not huge, but as you can see from this shot, it's fairly detailed. And once again, another developer that's worked on the terrain that surrounds the airport that improves the sort of visual realism. It's available from SimMarket and the FSDG online store. Give you the SimMarket price, €15.12, which equates to roughly $16.84 US, or £12.74 UK. As ever, US and UK prices are all estimates from the euro, and they include VAT or tax, which may of course vary depending on your country of purchase. I should say here, there's been a little anomaly with another product that I looked at from another developer, where I found the price on SimMarket, had a look at it, and the developer showed me the same screenshot with a different price. I'm not sure quite how that is. It may well be that SimMarket changes the price depending on the country you are, and obviously I report the price as I see it on SimMarket on the day that I do the research. So this bit at the bottom where prices are estimates and they vary depending on your country of purchase was never more true. So as I say, the prices I put up are a close guide. Often they may well be just €1 or €2 out, but they are only a guide as to what you might be charged depending on where you live in the world when you purchase these products. So let's look at features. Okay, features. This product features fully accurate rendition of MARSA Alam International Airport and the surroundings. They've got an updated ground layout, a realistic light environment and detailed modelling. It includes the hotels and buildings at Port of Ghalib, and they've used the normal of Microsoft Flight Simulator technologies, dynamic lighting, reflective textures and more. The product has been optimized for great performance and visual quality and is compatible with all known add-ons including GSX. And I will say I've got my Airbus A320 parked down here on stand 22, and the GSX models do seem to work, so that's pretty good. So as you can see, visually a really nice looking airport. Looks pretty accurate to me, and yeah, visually I like it a lot. Really like the way it looks. So let's talk some history. Okay, some history for you. MARSA Alam International Airport, Hotel Echo Mike Alpha, is a public use international airport privately owned and operated by EMAK MARSA Alam for Management and Operations, or Operations Airports. It's a subsidiary of MA Al Kharafi Group in Kuwait. The airport serves the city of MARSA Alam in Egypt and is located some 37 miles or 60 kilometers north of the city of MARSA Alam. The airport's an important destination for leisure flights from Europe. The airport was built in response to the increasing needs of European visitors to the southern Red Sea destination, along with other airports on the Red Sea such as Hurghada International Airport, being inaugurated in October 2003. The official name of the airport until 2011 was Marsa Mubarak Airport. Often not as crowded as Hurghada and a bit more remote than Sharm el Sheikh, MARSA Alam offers the perfect escape for sunbathers and scuba divers seeking a vacation away from the crowded beaches and all-night-long parties. Also known as the Gem of the Red Sea, the south of Egypt, MARSA Alam feels a bit more natural, a bit rougher than in other locations. With no jetways, no gigantic panorama windows at the terminals and no double runway, MARSA Alam takes you back to the time when holidays were special, adventurous and valuable. Just a few minutes by bus from Port of Ghalib, an excellent starting point for scuba divers, the international airport connects MARSA Alam to dozens of destinations in Europe and Africa. Currently some 20 airlines operate into and out of MARSA Alam Airport on both a seasonal and scheduled basis, including Air Serbia, EasyJet, Eurowings, Enter Air, Lufthansa, Smartwings and the national carrier Egypt Air. So there you are, folks, a short history. As many of you will know, there are a smattering of airports along the Red Sea that take lots of holiday flights, Sharm el Sheikh and Hurghada being just two of them. And here you've got MARSA Alam, a little bit further south and a little bit more out of the way, and again nestled in this beautiful mountain desert seascape area, which looks really nice. So that was the history. Let's look at runways. So runways, as you can see, we've lowered the lighting. It's 5:30 late afternoon here at MARSA Alam Airport. The airport operates a single runway, 1533, measuring 10,640 feet or 3,243 meters, and is made from asphalt. The airport lies at an elevation of 251 feet or 76 meters, and is located in the GMT UTC plus 2 hours time zone. Now, MARSA Alam in Egypt does indeed observe daylight saving time, or DST, and with both Egypt and the UK having moved forward 1 hour onto DST, the airport is still 2 hours ahead of the UK. It's currently mid-September 2024 is the date of this video, so we're both still in daylight saving time. So the runways then, both ends of this runway feature high intensity runway lighting, high intensity airfield lighting system and precision approach path indicators on the left side. And you can see it all is correct here. You've got the high intensity lighting, PAPI's on the left, and you know, it all looks great. The approach lighting system is here. Again, that's on the charts. Perfectly acceptable there. Let's have a quick look at the other end, runway 15. And as you can see, here we are looking down the throat of runway 15. The airport area itself is here on the left. And yep, as per the charts and as per the description, high intensity airfield lighting system, PAPI's on the left. The approach lights, we've got the shorter version, slightly different to the ones at the other end, which again as per the chart, so no problems at all with that. So before we leave runways, let's look at the approach options. Both ends of this runway have the same approach options. You have RNP approach available, and also a VOR Y and Z option approach as well. No instrument landing system here, just RNP approaches for both runways. And just finally, really, since there are no jetways on the ramp, pushback is in operation on all of the stands, so you need your pushback tug. So that does it for runways. As we said, no jetways here, so let's get down to the airport itself, bring it back to daytime and see what we're presented with in this product. Okay, before we start, just for those of you who may well want to attempt the VOR approach, here is the VOR station, literally sat right in line with runway 15 end. There's the runway 15 threshold, there's the airport itself, and this is where the VOR is located. So let's start the tour, and as usual, a daytime tour during airside. There's the runway 15 threshold on the right there, and there you can see the fence line, which I'm happy to say goes all the way around the airport. Windsock there to the right. Some various buildings there. There's the control tower. There's the fire station down there to the left. And we slow down here as we approach the main airside apron, which is nicely detailed, all the appropriate bits of clutter in the right places. There's my aircraft, and there you can see GSX coming into view. And we've got another aircraft here, which I think is an FSLTL insert. But as you can see, plenty of signage. Everything looks pretty good out here. And again, the fence line to the left goes all the way out to the perimeter of the airport. So let's look at some signage out here on the taxiway and runways. Here's the entrance to runway 33. So here we are, we've got the threshold of runway 33 in front of us. Here you've got the signage, all correct. Taxiway Alpha onto the runway, the holding point. Blue airfield edge lights, and you can see the concrete texture looks really good. Signs are on plinths and they're all perfectly clear. This is quality. Nothing just literally dropped into the grass, it all looks pretty good. And there's the sign denoting Taxiway Alpha, and here you can see the blue airfield edge lights go all the way down the runway, which is going to be, all the way down the taxiway, which is going to be useful because as far as I understand it, there are no green centerline lights, so you'll need your nose gear out when you taxi along here to the terminal during the night hours. There's the windsock, all nicely done. It's a proper international type windsock, built under IATA rules. I would expect to see lights on top of that when we see the darkness hours. We'll see. We'll have a look. This is the Bravo taxiway as you turn off the runway. And again, all the signs just as they should be. So let's get on the ramp and have a close-up look. So here's my Airbus A320 parked even on stand 22. And these are the vehicles I've used for GSX. It's Egypt Airport Services, I believe. And as you can see, they come up to the doors, everything's perfectly okay. So a quick view from the flight deck. Here we are parked on 22, the aircraft is shut down, and this is the view you will get during the daytime parking up on the ramp. A couple of bumps there as the tug goes along. I wonder if there are terrain issues. I may have to do a little taxiway test on this at some point and see whether there are any bumping issues. There's the view from the captain's side and the view through the first officer's window. Just a quick shot here across the stand where we're parked up. There don't appear to be any markings for the different aircraft here. I spawned straight from the menu onto the stand, and as you can see, all the vehicles seem to hook up okay. So here as we go down the airside road, you can see various vehicles parked. All the light stands are there. Various bits of equipment are parked there as well, and concrete textures look really good. I think in many ways they really work, and they kind of make the scenery really quite impressive. A couple of baggage dollies down there with bags on them, which always looks really good when you have that. Just gives it some impression of realism. And more of them there sort of further up the other end here as well. So staying airside, coming past the terminal itself, as you can see, plenty of detail. Be interesting to see what this building looks like inside, whether it's been modelled or not, I don't know. But good enough. Road markings are good too, complete with the 30-mile-an-hour signage. Very nice. And you've got various outbuildings and other things going on. Not so sure about the palm trees, they'll look a bit childish, but that's the only criticism I can give so far. Here's the fence line that continues out. And as you can see, various buildings and things going on. Quite a bit to explore out here. You've got two helicopter parking areas here. And the ground looks a little bit uneven, but it just may well be the way it is here. So here's the fire station. Some simplified fire trucks, but all properly marked with the airport insignia on them. And all very nice, no complaints at all. So while we're here, let's have a look at the control tower. Very nice modelling. I suspect there's nothing inside. Let's have a quick look. And there you can see no internal modelling at all. There's not even the structure, which is a pity. But there you go. So as we cross to the land side over the top of the fence, here you can see various buildings and structures going on. Very nice, very nice. The buildings are all in good shape, they're all nicely weathered. A couple of vehicles sunk into the ground there. And this looks like it's a bit floating. Yeah. Okay. Sometimes that is caused by sort of memory, and sometimes it's an anomaly with the elevation of the product. Let's have a look at it from the other side and see if it corrects itself. A lot of the times these do actually correct themselves. Okay, no, so that building area looks great, but it's raised off the ground, and that needs to be looked at or addressed, I think. But generally it all looks pretty good. You've got various lights there. Let's approach the terminal area from landside. If you look to the left, I mean, those trees, they look pretty simplified, and to be honest, it kind of spoils it a bit. They look pretty ugly. Just my opinion. You might have a different opinion, I don't know. Here we've got the landside road. It's a pity this hasn't been done in 3D. It's been left to photo ground. But as you can see, it's all pretty simplified. I mean, it's okay. I mean, this isn't an expensive airport by any means. So just a quick shot landside to show you what it looks like. It really is a pity that this hasn't been done in 3D. You know, it's you kind of expect, if you're going to do this to any length in any detail, this really needs to be done in 3D. Just my opinion, but there you go. So there's the arrivals building, and what looks like a pretty poor attempt at parallaxing here. I mean, this doesn't... okay, the lights are the only thing that really kind of look real when you look through the windows. The rest of it's all a bit higgledy-piggledy. But as I said, you know, it's okay. And again, the same is true of the departures building. But the building itself is quite a nice construction. And just another look down the landside road for you. The cars actually aren't too bad. There's a nice Audi here. So here's the main car park, which has been done nicely. You see, they've 3D modelled this. I mean, this looks really good, and once again, they've got a nice variation of vehicles, and they're pretty much all in their slots as far as I can see. Nothing really out of place, which really helps make it. And here, looking towards the other end, you've got the various buses. And these little sort of mini buses that take you into town as well, small groups of people. They're like small taxis. You see these a lot in Egyptian countries. And here's the sort of taxi park scene from another direction. Just to show you here, you see this is highly blurred because it's not been done in 3D like this has, which is a pity, although they've even stuck signs on top of it. And here you can see the palm trees a little bit closer. I mean, they're basic, they're very basic. And out there to the northwest side there, you've got the fuel farm, which also has been nicely detailed. And once again, as you go out towards the control tower, you've got more buildings there off airport to explore. And here's the roundabout for the airport entrance. You've got the road going in, got a couple of signs there. And once again, no 3D modelling of the road going into the airport. And once again, looking across in the other direction, we've got yet another building here floating that's not been properly anchored to the ground. And there you can see the avenue leads into the airport, goes all the way out to the main highway. So that was a brief look at daytime. Let's turn the light down to dusk now and see what we can see. Okay, 5:45 in the evening, local time. Lights came on about 5 minutes ago. Here's a shot looking from landside to airside, which doesn't look too bad at all actually. As with many airports, MARSA alarm seems to come to life a little bit at night or darkness hours, and yeah, it looks really nice. You can just see the control tower in the distance there. And there's a nice shot showing you the entrance road coming into the airport. The signage here is lit, which is nice, and you've got this wonderful view of the moon over the Red Sea. So here we are on stand. Everything looks fine. You've got the big lights there providing the right amount of light across the apron. And there we are looking in the other direction to the other stands. And you can see the terminal has been lit up a little bit. Let's get a closer look at the building. So the parallaxing looks better in the darkness hours. Here you can see what looks like a lady or somebody sitting at the table. Bits and pieces inside. It looks a lot more realistic during the darkness hours. There's the airport sign as seen from airside, which isn't lit. I thought it might have been really, and you got the same there in Arabic, and one of these buses, and as you can see, all looks pretty routine there. And just another view looking across the ramp, and there in the other direction, and here's the walkway. There's my aircraft parked, and there's a control tower in the distance. Now, interesting enough, here you can see landside at dusk, and again the parallaxing looks better. At daytime it looks pretty dreadful, to be honest, but here, and as the darkness hours come down, again with the appropriate lighting, I mean, it looks pretty good. It looks a lot better. It's not perfect. I mean, I don't expect it to be, not for this price. There's so much that it hasn't been done. That really doesn't make this a top airport, but it's quite acceptable. At the moment it's quite acceptable. What we see is perfectly okay. We've just got a couple of floating structures that need to be sorted out. And a nice shot across the car park. Can't see any Asobo globes near the airport here on the car park. The lighting's pretty good, all lit from the appropriate lamps. And the vehicles here are really quite good quality. Again, there's quite a range of different vehicles. The little bus taxis here and stuff are in good order, and they look good at this time of the day. They're looking in the other direction. It's only when you get sort of off airport you start to see the odd Asobo globe, but it looks fine. And here's the main entrance, which is lit all the way down. That's another really good thing. There's another look at the floating building. I mean, it hasn't corrected itself. It's still floating, so I think we've just got an elevation issue here. Just a couple of things to fix. But there's a high level shot showing you the airport seen from landside. Here you've got the fuel farm structures all lit up as well. There you can see the blue airfield edge lights. All the signs are lit as well. So at dusk, certainly at dusk time, you're not going to really have any issues at all. So just a look at the control tower, see what it looks like. So we've got a little bit of parallaxing down here, which works a lot better than what's up here. Unfortunately, this doesn't look too good at all. They're also missing the red warning light on top of the tower. All category 6 and 7 airports have structures over 300 feet, should have a red light on the top, and this one doesn't. So that needs to be added at some point. But as you can see, they've got the appropriate aerials. Here's the rotating light, which actually doesn't rotate. It should be white and green. But that's another thing that's missing from the scenery that potentially should be here. So here, looking at some of the off-airport buildings, you've got various bits of lighting. When I can't really see the source from where it's coming from. I mean, it's nicely lit up, no complaints about it. But there are no lamps or no obvious source from where this light is coming from. Then here's the fire station. Again, some nice lighting, and this area is nicely lit, but once again, no obvious source from where the light's coming from. There are no lamps on top of the building here providing this light. Parallaxing is quite basic, but it works perfectly acceptable here. It's fine. It looks perfectly okay. So just a very short tour as the sun goes down really quickly in this part of the world. There you can see the signs that have reflections in the glass, which is good. There's my aircraft on the left there on the main stand. And it looks nice, it does. And just a quick close-up of some of the signs here. You are going to have to be careful coming on and off the runway. Here you can see there's a slope. There seems to be various slopes around the airport, so it certainly isn't flat, so you're going to have to watch your power settings and your taxi speed. But as you can see, overall it looks pretty impressive. It looks okay. So finally then, let's turn the lighting down to night time. Have a quick look. Okay, 10 PM local time. As you can see, the sun is completely gone, darkness is with us. The ramp area is quite nicely lit, no real problems there. And there's an overview of the taxiway coming into from the runway, and to be honest, this looks quite bright. Considering it's night time and the sun's gone, it would appear that there's enough glow from the ramp area to give this quite a bit of light here, so you won't need to rely on your nose gear as much as possibly I thought you would. But it looks great, it looks perfectly acceptable. There's my stand, aircraft on the stand close up. And just a close-up view of the aircraft. There you can see the GSX stairwell. They're all lit as well, which is a nice touch. So as we slowly move in towards the terminal airside, the parallaxing just about sort of works. It's really bright and it's certainly not top-notch, but it's okay. For the price they're looking to sell this airport at, it's okay, it's acceptable. And here you've got the MARSA alarm sign, which now at night time is lit. So it's not so prominent at dusk, but it comes up better during the night time. And it's okay. I mean, it's not bad at all. It's not the best, but it's good enough. There you've got the arrivals doorway. And there you've got the international arrivals doorway. It's fine. So as we cross the airside fence to landside, again no Asobo globes, all nicely lit up here in the car park. Yeah, landside looks fine, perfectly acceptable. Nothing to write home about, but perfectly acceptable. And there you've got the road that comes into the airport, and you've got the signs, the entrance signs, they're all lit up quite nicely. Okay, here's the view from the flight deck at night, looking out on stand 22. There's the terminal in front of us. View from the captain's side. And the view from the first officer's side. Okay, so that was night time. Let's bring the dawn up. If I'm in the right position, it should come up behind me. Let's have a look. So here we are, 5:35 AM. Lights all went out about 2-3 minutes ago. We've got the sun coming up behind me, and you've got this lovely red glow on the buildings that you see at dawn time, which that looks so good in so many sceneries. This one no exception. Lovely glow on the buildings, mainly because of the colouring of the building anyway. Mountains in the distance, so it's a lovely location, this place. It's really good. There are the other buildings, got the control tower all lit up in the distance, including a fire station here. And there, as the sun rises in the east over the Red Sea, and there you've got the fuel farm as well, which has some lighting too. And a final view from the flight deck. This is what it looks like when you power up, either for when you're doing an early morning departure or whether you've just landed. Very nice. Okay, so I've changed the time to 4:45 in the afternoon, and time to wrap up the review and give you my conclusions. Is it worth the price? Yes, it is. It's only just under 60, well, it's just over €15, or around about $16.50, £12. It's on the cheaper side, and the price reflects what's been done. What do I like about it? Okay, I like the terrain, the way it's been modelled and enhanced slightly. It's typical desert. It's just as it should be. They've done the lights and everything all the way out to the main highway out here at the coast. The building itself is nicely modelled. It's accurate. I really like the ramp as well. During the darkness hours it's well lit, so much so that the light does extend out here to the taxiways, so you're going to have a lot easier time in the dead of night taxiing in, which is good. No asobo globes floating around this area at all, which is good. And you've got pretty much every building that's modelled. The things that don't impress me, okay, we've got two buildings, a little one out here and another one this over here, that are floating above the ground. They haven't been modelled into the ground properly. I'm not so sure about the palm trees. They look really simplified, and to be honest, they look pretty ugly. But again, it's just my view really. It could be better. There are sort of better foliage models that they could place that would make this look better. The terrain elevation, there might be issues taxiing on and off the runway, or taxiing around here. That I see little sort of slopes here and there. I'm going to have to fly in here and test it, and I think what I might do is maybe do that at some point in the next week or two, and put up a post about what I find. I mean, overall, what's my impression? It's a nice scenery. I don't know whether it's as good as the FREEWARE. There's a very, very good FREEWARE out there at the moment. And to be honest, the FREEWARE, I don't know, the FREEWARE is at least as good as this, if not better. There are things that the FREEWARE has this product doesn't. So I don't know. I'm going to leave it to you. Personally, my own personal opinion, this is nice. It's been done really well. There are things that are really good about the FREEWARE, certainly in the terminal area structure, and things like the tree line going down here. They look so much better than this payware version. But I don't know, there are things that FSDG could have done a lot better. I think back to their Mauritius scenery, which was stunning, but they clearly haven't worked as hard on this, which is a pity, because it's an interesting place, lots going for it, and not an awful lot to do. But they've chosen not to do it. Landside is not 3D at all. The road here should be 3D. The best thing about landside are the cars and the car park, which look really good. It's all been nicely modelled. And the buildings are weathered and they're nicely modelled too, but they're sitting in a landscape that has huge potential, but it's not been done fully in the way that I think it should be, and the way that they've done other sceneries. FSDG are a good developer. They have a good reputation. There are lots of good products they've done out there. Mauritius was fantastic. But this MARSA Alam here, I think, really was just a little bit of an afterthought. And yeah, it's just about worth the price. But those of you who are interested in MARSA Alam should have a look at the FREEWARE up on Flightsim.To, which is also really good. But something I must do is to test the to land in here and taxi into the terminal and off again, and just test the ramp area and have a look. So there you go, folks. This is MARSA Alam International Airport in Egypt, Hotel Echo Mike Alpha. The payware scenery from the Flightsim Development Group, better known as FSDG. This is the release version 1 for the PC version of Flightsim 2020. Comes in at 209 meg and installs at 734 meg. Available from both SimMarket and the FSDG online store. SimMarket price €15.12, which equates to $16.84 US, or £12.74 UK. As ever, US and UK prices are all estimates from the euro and include tax or VAT, which of course may vary depending on your country of purchase. Just bear in mind, if you look at SimMarket and see the price, and I look at SimMarket and see the price, and we're in two different countries, they may well be different to what I'm reporting. and that's something I really have just discovered due to an anomaly with another developer. So those prices are a guide, but I give them certainly from the UK and European people who might want them. It's a nice airport. That's all I can say. It's nice. It's not brilliant. It's not developed to its full potential, and to be honest, the freeware on Flightsim.To gives it a real run for its money. But there is still a lot going for this, and FSDG, there are at least a couple of things you need to correct. And if you got the time or the inclination, there is so much more you could do to this airport to really sort of bring it up to something special. But yeah, it's okay. It's perfectly acceptable for your needs. If you want to pay the money, then you'll get a nice airport, and if you just want to land here and park up and do your thing and then fly out again, it's fine. The other plus is it's GSX compatible. So there you go, folks. I hope, I know at least one person's been on the fence about whether or not to buy this, but if you've been thinking about it, I hope the review has helped. If you've got comments that are different from mine, then that's okay. I accept that. We all have a different view of things, but I think this just could be so much better, and it isn't. It's acceptable, but it could have been done so much better, and I just think it may well, I don't know whether it's a bit of laziness or what, but just really there's potential here that really hasn't been tapped into. Nevertheless, it's available. You can buy it if this is what you want, and there you go. So thanks for watching, guys. My name's Lee, your virtual airline pilot, wrapping up the first of this week's reviews. As I said in the introduction, I hope to get 4 reviews in this week. So join me for the next one, which will come up probably tomorrow, hopefully released tomorrow night. And yeah, thanks for joining me, thanks for watching, and thank you everybody for the support you provide. I've had copies bought from me from various people, and I thank you for that. So see you later, see you in the next video. Bye for now.